Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back to my podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I really mean that when I say that because it is very tough to navigate this world as of late. Coming through 2020, which just unfolded so many things that we did not expect, and also almost getting to the halfway point of 2021, and not a lot has changed. Some things have changed. We of course have a new administration, which that is definitely a plus. That needed to happen, but there's so many things that still haven't changed. And I just want to make my piece of the world something that I can be proud of, something that you guys can be proud of. And it's the reason why I create the content that I do. You guys know I'm a writer. I've got a journalist background, mass communications, PR, branding, all that stuff you guys know. I definitely have become a strong digital creator over the years, making graphics, all of the flyers and everything you see on my social media, video clips and all of that, I create. I do bring on an assistant every now and then for, about 7 to 10 hours a week if I need to get some other work done. And usually it is for my clients. So I kind of give and I'm not going to say the unimportant work, but the less pressing work to my assistant to handle so that I can take care of the client needs. So thank you so much for anyone that has ever, followed us on social media, interacted with us, in any way, shape, or form, whether you've seen us out at an event. I know that's been a while because, the pandemic is still a thing, but we will be getting back to doing events and looking at setting up pop-ups and, getting back to our brunches and all of that. We're actually really looking forward to that. I'm going to see if I can bring back the Pink Leaf Retreat in the fall, because I cannot even tell you how many people these entrepreneur ladies keep asking about it, and I just don't even have, anything to say, because I'm like, okay, when are we going to get back to having events? But one thing is that I want to make sure that having the events, that they are safe. And I know that some people are not going to be, vaccinated. So I just want to make sure that everybody is going to be safe. So that's why we're kind of hesitating on it. But, I will strongly consider bringing the Pink Leaf Retreat back for the fall. And you guys know it is always sometime in October. We usually do the month of October because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the event, a portion of the proceeds goes towards breast cancer awareness. So we choose a breast cancer, either a local charity or a national organization, and we do give a portion of the proceeds to that. So stay tuned on that front. I will definitely know for sure probably in the next 30 to 60 days where I can say, because we need at least a good 3 months of promo time before the event in October. So definitely I will have a definitive answer probably by July 1st. So I'm going to say July 1st for now. All right. So let me just do some more housekeeping here and let you guys know what's going on. Yes, podcast is still popping, and thank you so much for the support on it because the numbers are just growing. We are over 20,000 downloads and views on the podcast, which I can't even believe. We were just celebrating 20,000, and we're actually creeping up to 23,000 now, and that wasn't even so long ago. So thank you so much, for all of that support. It means the world to me. My podcast wasn't monetized for a long time. We were just trying to find the right platform, and we finally moved to a really great platform. It's just about 2 years now. So it has been working well for us, and we are happy where we are, and it has actually expanded us to so many other platforms. So you can find us on Apple, you can find us on Google Podcasts, you can find us on Amazon. That's another thing. I think I briefly touched on this a few episodes back, but yes, our podcast is running on Amazon as well. So you can Google or you can search in Amazon and you will find our podcast there as well. We're up under Castbox. Someone told me that I didn't even know that we got picked up by Stitcher.com as well. So shout outs to Stitcher. So we're out here. Spotify, Anchor, we're out here. So wherever you listen to podcasts, you will definitely find us. Next piece of business, and I'm really excited about this, you guys. I already announced it on Facebook, but I definitely want to have a formal podcast about it. Okay, our podcast is going to be streamed online, but not just in audio, but also in video. So we have decided to expand the podcast, and we were offered an opportunity to build our own show, and that is exactly what we are going to do. So we will be streaming visually in addition to audio. So this podcast that you're listening to right now is going to still happen. Okay, so don't think that we're going to just drop our folks who listen when they're driving in the car and all of that. No, we are still going to service this podcast that we have right now. The audio version will still happen. But what will happen is that while we are recording the audio, we will also move forward into recording video as well. So the audio and the video will have the video is going to have the same audio that you're hearing right now. So it'll be the same. It'll just be that when you go to watch us on Roku or Amazon Fire TV, Smart TV, Android TV, or even Apple TV, you will basically be able to see what goes on behind the scenes of an actual podcast. So you will actually see me. You will actually see my guests, whoever I have on the podcast. Now, of course, in light of COVID and all of that, we're still going to social distance. There may be an occasion where I do a podcast, one-on-one with a guest that is actually in my presence, and that's fine. I will probably do that. But it'll probably be split screen where they will be zoomed in for the visual or Skyped in for the visual, and we'll probably start off that way. And there'll probably be a lot of guests that will have that anyway, just because they may be in another part of the world. We have listeners all over, like literally all over the world. So I want to make sure that, we stay as safe as possible. So we may do some social distancing where that is concerned, because quite frankly, I think we're going to be well into 2022 before we see a little bit of break, in COVID and these other variants that we have going on out there right now. So we just want to be on the good foot. So we are so excited. We want to also ask for your help. We need to build this, and we're launching this summer. And I would love to have your help through monetary donations so that we can invest in equipment, we can invest in software, and also staff that we're going to need to be able to get this launch off the way that it should be done. We want this show to continue where we are right now, but we also want to expand past that. So you know that this podcast is often geared towards entrepreneurs, business owners. We talk a lot about business stuff, so anybody can listen to it, but we especially hone in on that. And I really want to focus on female entrepreneurs because I'm a female entrepreneur, and I also speak to entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs. I go to a lot of conferences and all of that. Of course, this past year with COVID happening, the conferences have been online, but I want to make sure that any woman out there knows, even if she doesn't have the confidence within herself, that she knows that she can accomplish anything that she wants to. And she doesn't have to feel, out of place trying to get a seat at the table, And a lot of times we're like, I'm trying to get a seat at the table. You know what? You can build your own table, And I want to make sure that all women feel seen. I want to make sure that we are heard. Our voices are so important and just pertinent in the business world. And I want to be a catalyst for positive change, to rearrange this narrative that, it's just the boys club, and it's not. I love all entrepreneurs. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, I support, but I really have to support my female entrepreneurs, especially my Black and brown sisters. We don't get a lot of these opportunities out here, so we often have to create our own avenues for success. So that is what this show is going to be. It is going to be an extension for entrepreneurs to have a platform to showcase their talents, showcase their services, all of that. That is exactly, what we set out to do with the podcast. It's what we're doing, and we're going to take the podcast and really move it into another level. Okay. So those are my housekeeping announcements. Oh, I have one more, and I'll probably end on this because I just wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of what we've got coming down the pike. Like I said, the t-shirt line is happening. I'm going to try to get some designs out for Juneteenth. Hopefully, I can get that out in the next day or so that you guys can receive your products and everything before Juneteenth. I actually have a couple of designs right now that I'm kind of perfecting, but I would like to get at least maybe 4 or 5 designs off before the week ends. But I wanted to also thank all of our listeners. I do this every few episodes because I just think it's so important. And being that this is actually the start of a new season, I just think it's great just to go over this and just to see how much we've expanded. So thank you to everyone in the United States. Thank you, United Arab Emirates. Thank you so much, Ireland, Bahamas, Russia, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, Germany, Mexico, Spain, Brazil, India, Philippines, Tanzania, Austria, Nigeria, New Zealand, South Africa, Switzerland, Pakistan, Uganda, Slovakia, Poland, Puerto Rico, Finland, and Singapore. Thank you so much for your support. That was the rundown of all the countries that tune in to the Queen's Lair. Thank you so much. As I said to you before, spread the word about the Queen's Lair and what we have going on. We're about to be a TV show that is going to be streaming on all these different platforms. Please spread the word about that and let people know, because we want to be the change that we want to see in the world. Is that how the saying goes? Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely want OnyxQueen Media to be at the forefront as a Black-owned, female-owned business that is making change, rearranging this narrative and pushing it into a positive direction. So thank you so much for tuning in. Find me on the web at OnyxQueen Media, and I'll talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.